Hi. All right. So here we go. Rewriting our default scripts because most of us are not living intentionally. We're all living on default thoughts, default reactions, default behaviors, default identity. And here's the sequence. This is worth knowing, something to pay attention to. You may have already heard of this. So, thought, behavior, action, identity. So, a thought shows up and we do not question it. That thought drives our behavior. Behavior repeated becomes our actions, and repeated actions become our identity. So one day we wake up living through that and we say, like, well, why am I like this? And you're like this because you never rewrote the script. So the brain loves efficiency. And neuroscience does tell us that repeated thoughts carve new neural pathways. So the more we think about something, the more automated it becomes. The basal ganglia steps in, autopilot takes over. So I deserve a drink. This is just who I am. I can't handle this. It's the way I was raised. I'll start tomorrow. These are not truths. They're rehearsed lines up here. And so the work here is to start thinking about what you think about, not to judge it, not to conquer it, but to invite it in. So when a thought shows up, especially the ones we don't want, let's not push it away. Let's talk with it. Interesting. Where'd you come from? What are you trying to protect me from? Because after all, our brain wants us safe. And that space right there, that is the prefrontal cortex coming back online. That's consciousness. We're gaining consciousness. Viktor Frankl said it really well. Between stimuli and response, there is that space. And inside of that space is our power to choose. That space is where we rewrite the script as well. And so here's one of the tools that a lot of people skip is writing. Writing is intentional thinking. It slows down the mind. We gain clarity. It forces clarity. So when you write down a thought, you take it out of the emotional brain, the limbic system, and you move it into the logical cortex. You can look at it, you can turn it and examine it. We can ask ourselves, is this true? Is it fully true? And what would the opposite look like? And is the opposite even more true? And this is how we start to rewire our identity, because identity isn't discovered. It's constructed brick by brick, day over day. If your default script is something like, I drink because I'm stressed, rewrite that into something like, I experience stress and I'm learning new ways to regulate it. If your default script is something like, I'm not disciplined, rewrite that. I'm becoming someone who does hard things. I do hard things. I love doing hard things. This one small shift changes behavior, and behavior changes action, and action reshapes our identity. The philosophical layer of this is you are not your first thought. You are the observer of your first thought. And Carl Jung said this really well too. Individuation begins when we stop identifying with the unconscious script and start becoming aware of it. And then Marcus Aurelius, Stoicism, would say something like, you have power over your mind, not outside events. And I'll say it's something like this. You cannot stop your first thought, but you can absolutely control the second one. So this week, let's not try to overhaul our life all at once. Let's just catch one of those scripts and write it down, invite it in, turn it over, rewrite it, and act in alignment with that rewritten version just once per day, because once becomes twice, twice becomes a habit, habit becomes identity, and we start marching forward. And identity, coincidentally, becomes your destiny. So let's rewrite the script. I hope that helps a little bit, and I will see you around Reframe. Take care.